In the heart of a tranquil forest, nestled among towering ancient trees, there lived a Zen master named Ryo. Ryo was renowned throughout the land for his wisdom and serenity. People from far and wide sought his guidance on the path to enlightenment. One crisp morning, a young monk named Koji approached Ryo with a burning question. "Master," Koji began, "I struggle to discipline my thoughts during meditation. My mind wanders like a restless wind. How can I still the turbulence within?" Ryo smiled and nodded, understanding Koji's dilemma. "Come with me," he said, leading Koji through the dense forest. They walked in silence until they reached the edge of a pristine lake, its surface as smooth as a mirror. The reflection of the surrounding trees was so clear that it seemed as though the forest extended into the depths of the water. Ryo turned to Koji and said, "Look at the lake, Koji. What do you see?" Koji gazed at the lake and replied, "I see the trees, Master, their branches and leaves perfectly reflected in the water." Ryo nodded and asked, "Do you see any ripples in the water, Koji?" Koji scrutinized the lake's surface, his eyes scanning for any sign of disturbance. After a moment, he answered, "No, Master. The water is perfectly still." Ryo smiled and said, "Just as the lake reflects the trees without distortion when it is calm, so too can your mind reflect the truth of existence when it is free from turbulence. Discipline your thoughts, Koji, like this tranquil lake. Let them settle naturally, and you will find clarity." Koji bowed to his master and returned to the monastery with a newfound determination to discipline his thinking during meditation. Days turned into weeks, and Koji diligently practiced, striving to still the turbulent currents of his mind. However, despite his best efforts, his thoughts continued to swirl like leaves in a storm. Frustration began to cloud his heart, and he felt as though he were failing in his quest for discipline. One evening, Koji decided to venture into the forest alone, seeking solace and clarity. As he wandered deeper into the woods, he stumbled upon a small stream. Its waters rushed over rocks, creating a continuous, soothing sound. Koji sat by the stream and closed his eyes. He focused on the sound of the flowing water, allowing it to fill his consciousness. With each passing moment, his thoughts began to fade into the background, like distant echoes. He became one with the gentle murmur of the stream, and for the first time, his mind felt truly at peace. As he sat in meditation by the stream, Koji realized the profound lesson it held. Just as the lake had taught him the importance of stillness, the stream showed him the power of flow. He understood that discipline did not mean suppressing thoughts, but allowing them to flow naturally, like water in a stream. With this revelation, Koji returned to the monastery and sought out his master, Ryo. He bowed respectfully and said, "Master, I have learned that discipline of thought is not about suppressing or stilling the mind, but allowing it to flow like a stream. It is in this flow that I find clarity and peace." Ryo smiled with a deep sense of pride in his pupil's growth. "You have indeed grasped the essence of discipline, Koji," he said. "Just as the lake and the stream teach us different lessons, so too can our minds find harmony through stillness and flow. Balance is the key. And the key is not to cling to any thought, to be an observer of your mind rather than a prisoner of it." Years passed, and Koji continued to deepen his understanding of discipline and meditation. He became a revered monk in his own right, guiding others on their spiritual journeys. His wisdom was sought after as far and wide as his master's had been. One day, an old traveler arrived at the monastery, seeking Koji's counsel. The traveler, weary from a long and challenging journey, approached Koji with a question that had been plaguing his mind for years. "Master Koji," the traveler began, "I have wandered the world in search of peace and discipline, but my thoughts remain turbulent, like a stormy sea. How can I find the tranquility you embody?" Koji smiled warmly at the traveler and said, "Come with me." He led the traveler to a spot where a small waterfall cascaded down a rocky slope. The water crashed and roared as it descended, creating a tumultuous display of nature's power. The traveler looked at the waterfall, perplexed. "Master," he said, "I see only chaos in the waterfall. How can this bring me peace?" Koji nodded and replied, "The waterfall, my friend, is a reflection of the mind in its most turbulent state. Just as the lake represents stillness and the stream represents flow, the waterfall teaches us about the nature of chaos within our thoughts." The traveler gazed at the waterfall, his eyes fixed on the rushing water. Gradually, he began to notice something remarkable. Amidst the chaos, there was a certain order, a rhythm to the water's flow. It was as though the waterfall itself had a discipline, an inner harmony, that allowed it to maintain its grace even in its tumult. As the traveler watched, he realized the profound lesson before him. Discipline of thought was not just about stillness or flow, but about embracing the chaos within and finding one's inner rhythm, one's own unique harmony amid the turbulence. With newfound clarity, the traveler thanked Koji for his guidance and set off on a different path. A path that led him not to stillness or flow alone, but to an understanding that discipline of thought encompassed both, just as the law. And so, the teachings of Zen Master Ryo and his pupil Koji continued to ripple through the world, touching the hearts and minds of those who sought discipline, peace, and enlightenment. For in the depths of nature's beauty, they had found profound lessons that illuminated the human spirit's endless journey toward understanding the true nature of thought and existence.